It is noon on the Pacific Coast, and we're following major breaking news impacting millions across Northern California. A major wildfire in Sonoma County forcing thousands out of their homes. Historic winds pushing these flames into neighborhoods, threatening some of the same communities that burned in the North Bay fires
Just 2 years
ago. Right. Now, those winds plus extremely dry fuel triggering the largest PG&E power shutoff in the history of California. Millions of people are without power as we speak, and they could be without power for days, but...
That's right. We are following a new fire that started around 9 this morning in Vallejo near I-80. Now the highway is shut down in both directions, closing the Carquinez Bridge. The Cal Maritime Academy is evacuating right now because the fire is so close. We haven't seen it get very close. We've also seen it get very close to homes. We have a crew on the way there now. They're working to get more information. And on the other side of the bridge, there is a 150-acre wildfire. There are evacuation orders in place in Contra Costa, on the Contra Costa side.
Okay, we're up above Vallejo, and this is the area of interest. This is what's new. This is not the Kincade fire that we've been talking about in Sonoma County since Wednesday night. This happened starting at just after 9 this morning. Why are we breaking into coverage of Formula One? This is some pretty serious stuff here. We'll get back to the Formula One race at 1 o'clock today. Apologies to those of you who tuned in for that. But I-80 is closed in both directions at the Carquinez Bridge area. These flames are coming up on traffic on I-80. You can see how close it is to Interstate 80. If you are somehow involved in this, you know someone who is, we would love to hear from you. Give us a call at 844-765-NEWS. Again, 844-765-NEWS. Now, these flames are so close to 80. We're showing you pictures of this, and I think once we move off of this particular this clip of video, we're going to be able to show you the smoke along 80 from a higher vantage point. And indeed, here it is. This is Vallejo, and this again started at 9 o'clock this morning. It is burning along the coastal area of Vallejo into that harbor area. This is the area that's near what used to be officially known as Cal Maritime Academy, but it's now CSU, Cal State University Maritime, and we're showing you this is 80. This is 80 right in the Vallejo area, and in a minute or a couple of seconds, there's the toll bridge. That's the toll bridge at the Carquinez Bridge, and you just see just above the toll bridge the flames burning right up to the I-80 area. This is why I-80 is closed in both directions at that area. So if you are heading towards San Francisco, don't plan on going on 80. And if you know people in San Francisco, maybe they just flew in, or they're coming back from a weekend away, they're going to have to find a different way to get back to the Sacramento area. This is the outskirts of what is known as Cal Maritime Academy. And the flames burning down, there's the research vessel right there docked, and you can see the flames. That's the campus. That's the campus of what is now CSU Maritime, burning right down to the level. We heard from Angela, who's a recent graduate of Cal Maritime,
That's right,
who said that she had been in touch. This is the campus. So she had heard that a couple of vehicles were on fire. 1,000 students go to this campus. And she said that as of just a little bit ago, 200 people
students
have been evacuated.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, these are just impressive images that we're seeing. And as you mentioned even earlier, while CSU, the Maritime, this campus has been around for a very long time. So we're talking about a historic building that could potentially go up in flames, as we saw earlier this morning with one of the Soda Rock wineries. So a very sad sight to see this morning.
That's the campus. That's what you're referencing, Mady. And just to the right of that campus, if we were to pan right, you'd see the Carquinez Bridge. So that gives you some idea. As we pan to the left here, all the buildings at the bottom of your screen are connected to CSU Maritime, and we're going up into the hills. And as of now, we don't know how this started. Again, this fire is about 3 hours old, and obviously it is involving a lot of Vallejo. We don't believe it has any connection to the Kincade fire. Obviously, that is some distance to Vallejo from the Kincade fire, but with the winds being what they are, and you know, we don't have to tell you if you stepped out or you were awakened at 2, 3 o'clock this morning, that's when the switch got flipped. We went from about 6 miles per hour to about 15 miles per hour in terms of winds, and then the gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour. So we don't know how this one started, but we do know that wind is spreading this rather quickly.
That's right. And, you mentioned about, that dramatic change in temperature. Yesterday, we were in the 80s. Today, we've had that dramatic change, plus all that wind that all of a sudden, as you said, just switched over. And some of the video that you were seeing there is just of people sending us, stuck in traffic, sending us that video. Now, some people want to know exactly what's going on with the highway, because you can see right there just some of the vehicles that are stuck on the bridge on the highway. Keep in mind that right now, 80 eastbound and westbound, they're both shut down. So the traffic is being directed to Highway 4. Now, this is also causing shutdowns on Highway 780, as well as the Magazine Street on-ramp and off-ramp are shut down. Sonoma on-ramp to westbound 80 is also shut down, as well as Willow on-ramp in Hercules to on eastbound 80 has also been shut down. You're looking at the map there. And as a matter of fact, do we have Tracy? Tracy?
Here you go. So thank you, Mady. Here's a look at Waze, and Waze does a really good job of kind of painting the picture. Everything that you see there that looks like a candy cane, that's actually closures, and that closure begins around 780 at Benicia, going all the way to State Route 4. So we have slow going coming in just near Georgia Street. You can see the red there. That's showing that we have a backup, and once you start to see that pink and white striping, that is the actual closure that begins at Benicia Road, extending right through 780, and that will also be a part of the forecast as far as travel forecast over the course of the next could be hours, depending on what happens with this particular setup that they have going on again over parts of the Carquinez Bridge. So some slow going there on Highway 80. We're going to be monitoring that for you as well. If you're looking for another alternative to try to get into the San Francisco area, again, I'm still showing that slow going all the way once you cross the Carquinez Bridge going into State Route 4. You can still see, again, we do have some slow going there as well. If you are looking for an alternative, you can always cut through Vallejo and take State Route 37, the one that goes through Sonoma. You don't see any slow going there. You'll take that one, you'll move all the way in through the Novato area. Eventually you'll catch up with 101, and then that one will take you in to Sausalito, and then eventually you'll start to cross and go cross the Golden Gate Bridge and pay a really nice toll there going into the Bay Area. So still got slow going again, Mady and Walt, especially where you have the Carquinez Bridge, but you do have an alternate if you do want to take 37 to get into San Francisco.
All right, Tracy, thank you for that late information, because obviously the fire situation is greatly affecting traffic, as we're hearing from obviously 101 where the Kincaid fire is, and certainly on I-80 where this fire is burning in Vallejo. So it's like a 2-for-1. It's a bad fire situation, and also when you shut down 80 in Carquinez, that is affecting hundreds of thousands of vehicles. And this is a Sunday where people are heading back to San Francisco or heading back to the greater Sacramento area after a weekend involving the Bay Area.
That's right. And also, we want to say that Governor Newsom has already declared a statewide emergency due to the fires and the extreme weather conditions.